What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Good morning, world, and welcome to the Retired Hood Rap Podcast. It's your girl, comedian T.Barb in the building live on Detroit is Different. Don't forget you can catch us live on YouTube each and every Monday. We don't know what time we start because we black. I say 10:30. I be meaning 11:30, whatever. But if you're on around that time, make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comedian T.Barb. And every Thursday, you can hear us live on Detroit is Different on all platforms, including Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. So go like us on one of those Retired Hood Rap podcasts with your girl, comedian T-Barb. Today, we have an amazing show lined up for you as every week. We got your girl, Dany Redwine in the building.
Oh,
Let me give her some little air
hey.
horns. That's what I'm talking about. Your girl, Dany Redwine in the building. She's going to tell you a little bit about herself. And then, of course, I'm your host, comedian T-Barb. And we have the one and only Khary Frazier of Detroit is Different coming in to let you know about the crowd funding project for a lot of studio, which I'll be hosting a couple events there. So if you're in the Metro Detroit area, you're looking to give back to the community, you want to go somewhere where it's lit, outdoor podcasting, outdoor community garden and resources, food and all that stuff, make sure you hit up a lot of studio, which is an outdoor platform, okay? All by Detroit is Different. If this is your first time listening to the show, thank you so much for tuning in to the Retired Hood Rap Podcast. If this is not your first time, then you already know how we do, okay? I'm a retired hood rat, but don't forget, relapse is a part of recovery. So you may hear me doing a lot of hood rat-ish throughout the broadcast. But I start with the word of the day, which is my way to be the Ayanla of the ghetto, because I want to be inspirational. I want to inspire, and I want to reach higher. So we do that with the word of the day. After the word of the day, I come with my hood rat prayer. Okay, it's not about Jehovah, it's not about Hishnu, it's not about a deity. So I'm not going to push any religious influence on you. It's more about opening up to the universe. I say, dear God, but you can say whatever. If it's the God in you, whatever it is. Sometimes I just like to open it up, and people don't understand how prayer changes things. Shout out to everybody who is listening live on my TikTok, comedian T-Barb. People on here, they just so wild. So good morning to Ernest Car 867, Pimp G. Listen, Pimp PQP acting up, okay? Please don't act on there and just keep listening. So it is time for our word of the day. And this week's word of the day comes from a lot that's been going on. I see a lot of people have been suffering from depression. You see a lot of suicide coming up, those type of things. And in today's world, as you're watching television, it is depressing. Everything is depressing. But what I want to encourage you to do is to focus on the good, okay? Focus on the good. Stop focusing on other people. Sometimes you have to cut the television off. Sometimes you have to cut your friends off, your family off. If you know someone that constantly is calling you, and every time they're calling you, it is a problem. They are calling you because they are sad. They are calling you because they are depressed. It's nothing wrong with being there for your family sometimes. But if you're not in the mental state to be there, it is okay to say, I'm not in the mental state to be there. Remember, if you're not well, you cannot help anyone else. I'm going to repeat this again. If you are not okay, you can't help anybody else. It's hard to pour from an empty cup. And there's so many of us that we just want to pour. We want to pour. We want to pour. And we don't realize it's affecting us. It's hurting us. So it is okay to shut down from the world. It is okay to tell your family and friends, I need a break today. I need a break today because it's too much on me. When you break yourself down to the point of nothing, you have nothing to give the world, nothing to give anybody else. That's why happiness is so important. And a lot of people don't understand when you're constantly listening to negativity and degradation, that's how you'll feel. That's why a lot of people don't understand why being with the wrong mate can really affect you. If you're with somebody and they're always negative, they always tearing you down. You don't never look good. Everything is a problem. I hate my job. I hate this house. Guess what? You'll start to hate things. You'll start to pick up on their behaviors. That's why if you're around someone who's happy all the time, it's infectious.
Mm-hmm.
It rubs off on you. If you're around somebody who work out every day, it make you want to work out. If you're around somebody who is focused on your happiness and your mental health, who's like, yo, go get you a counselor if you need one. Go get you some help if you need some help. You'll be better for that. So sometimes you have to shut the world out and start doing things for you. You have to start focusing on you and saying, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Today, I can't engage in the negativity. Today, I don't have anything to pour. You can't pour out of an empty cup. So that means that you have to focus on you, and sometimes you have to shut out the negativity. And I know, we're going to talk about some things today. We're going to be talking about MoNique. We'll be talking about the Uvalde shoes. We have to talk about those things. But I don't watch the news every day, all day. You know why? Because I know it affects my mental health negatively. I make people laugh all day. There are people who say that is so insensitive. How can you be laughing right now? How can you be making people laugh right now? You know what I say to those people? I'm keeping myself mentally sane. Because if all I focus on is corona and this person passed, I mean, these things are real. These things are happening. I'm not saying not to acknowledge them. What I'm saying is if you consume yourself with them all the time, what will you have? There's a time when I'm serious. T.Barb is serious. T.Barb goes out and speak. T.Barb cry. I be depressed at home. I'm a real person. But at the end of the day, yes, I do be goofy and laugh and silly because that feeds into my mental health. I can't be bogged down with it all day, every day. If I'm bogged down with it all day, every day, what do I have? What do I have for my son? What do I have for my family? He a kid. He still got to live the rest of his life. He got to go through all these years that I've been through. So why would I want him to walk around depressed? Because I'm depressed, because I have been inundating myself with negativity all day, every day. I'm not doing it. I'm a smile. I don't give a damn. I'm telling you, I was dating a guy, had to leave his ass because he's so negative. I don't want to be mad all day. If you want to be mad, that's fine. You just be, I hate the world, da. That's you, okay? You die in the corner with your deathly friends. Me, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to eat something good. I'm going to eat, I'm a vegan. Y'all know that, but I'm going to eat all the vegan cheeseburgers I can. I'm just going to do what I got to do, okay? Because I'm telling you, because I want to be happy, okay? I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. And there's nothing wrong with that. And especially in the African-American community, I'm down with everybody, but I'm Black, so I can talk about being Black. It's almost like you can be punished for being happy.
Right. You're not supposed to be happy.
Listen to Dany. That's Democrat. Listen, you're not supposed to be happy. And especially in Detroit. You talking about a place where if you walk around and smile for too long, everybody looking at you like you retarded. They think I'm on the stage. I know I ain't supposed to say retarded. Cognitively dissident, whatever. I'm sorry, because I be fucking up the sayings of the words or how you supposed to say it. I don't want nobody banning me because I said slow. Because I grew up when people said shit like it'll do anyway. Never mind. I don't want to get in trouble. Point being, it's nothing wrong with it, and people will make you feel bad because you not depressed.
Right, because you're happy.
Like, why the fuck I gotta be stressed out? Because you stressed out.
It's backwards.
It's bad because you chose to be with somebody that sucks. You know what I'm saying? You knew he wasn't shit. You keep wanting to be with him. Now you at home crying.
You
now
mad.
I'm supposed to be mad with you because you know this nigga ain't shit. Or because you know she ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know she messed with the homies. Now you want to be at home sad while I'm out there twerking on the boat. It's not my fault. I chose to twerk on the boat. You chose to be at home sad. Hey, we all have decisions in life. So that's my point. Do something for you. Never feel bad about choosing you first and living the lifestyle that you want to live. And you have to balance. Life is about balance. So for all of the sad moments that you have, try to double them back with just something that gives happiness, and never feel bad about choosing you first. And whatever you do after that, you do after that. I'm not talking to the users who just always sucking people dry. Not you. But to the people who sometimes we like, whoa, because you have to find happiness. If you're on social media, stop following stuff that makes you sad. I'll give you an example. If you feel less than because you don't have money or you don't have this look, you should not be following those people.
Exactly.
You should not be following Playmate Barbie that has a perfect life if you're going to compare your life to that person, and it's going to make you feel less than. You know, you need to follow inspirational.
People use social media for the wrong thing. Follow the things that you have interest in. You know, you might have interest in traveling. There's so many different traveling things to follow, so you can see different parts of the world on where you might want to go. You know what I mean? There's just so much. There's endless content.
Yeah, it is. So we just want to encourage everybody. Don't forget, that's the word of the day on the Retired Hood Rat podcast. Make sure you go to comedian T.Barb. I know somebody said they don't see the YouTube page, but it's comedian T as in Tom, B as in boy, ARB. Don't forget, each and every Thursday you can listen to us on Detroit is Different on all platforms. Retired Hood Rat Podcast. That's Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music. Make sure you tune me up. You can listen at any time. Go listen to some of our previous episodes, our new episodes, and also watch us live each and every Monday on YouTube. But don't forget, the episodes drop on Thursday. So that was our word of the day. Now it's time for our Hood Rat prayer. Before we get off into this guest, we do have our guests in studio, though. I'm going to introduce them really quickly. First, this guy right here is Detroit is Different. He is one of, okay, that messed up. Sorry. He is my guy right here. We've been rocking it out. Also, the founder of the Detroit is Different 501c3 and a lot of studio. I want you guys to give it up for Khary Frazier in the building.
Hey.
Hold on, I felt like to give you like a little
dun, 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 dun. Okay, little applause.
Okay, here you go. And you get a little air horn.
Hey.
Yes, Retired Hood Rats in the building. Also, this next guest, you can catch this funny lady all over the country doing her thing. She's hilarious. Straight out the 616 Grand Raggedy, also known as Grand Rapids, also known as I don't know.
Gun Rule.
Give it up
to 616.
for my girl, the funny, the hilarious Dany Redwine.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
And some air horns.
Hey.
Okay. And then on, they going crazy on TikTok. My boy Pimp PQP say, is she as cute as you? And she is.
Thanks.
That's Dany Redwine.
Hi, honey. Come to my page and look at my pics.
She said go to her page.
I have really good selfies.
She's good at selfies.
I have some bomb ass selfies. You know what I'm saying?
I got some bomb ass selfies. Ooh.
Ow.
So welcome to the Retired Hood Rat Podcast. So let's get our pray on. Like I said, go over if you want to see the whole show live, comedian T.Barb on YouTube. But right now, this is where we choose to bow our heads. If you're driving, please don't do so. Remember, it's not about any particular deity at all. What it's about is putting a positive inspiration into the air. So whether it's Jehovah, Ishnu, yourself, 5%ers, it don't matter. We just about to get our pray on. If you ain't with it, say, this ain't the part of the show for me, and come on back. So here we go. And I'm going to say, dear God, because I believe in God. Okay. Dear God, thank you so much for bringing us here today. We understand that it is a blessing to wake up each and every day. And God, I just ask that you bless somebody with inspiration to chase their dreams, inspiration to be more financially stable, inspiration to be a better parent, a better mother, a better brother, and also inspiration to take care of themselves. God, I just ask that you bless somebody with self self-esteem right now, God. It's somebody out there who need a little boost in their life. They don't feel worthy. They don't feel able. But God, let them know that they are able. Let them know that you don't have to stay where you start, God. Let them know that you can be anything that you want to be, that you don't have to be a product environment unless you want to be. God, whatever you want to do, you can be the best at it. I hope that you just add some inspiration in someone's life so that they may change their lives or they may live a better version of the life that they're living, because we all deserve to live our best life, God. God, we just asking those things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, give me some air horns, because
That was a prayer.
That was a prayer.
Pass the plate around to the left.
Okay, everybody, collection plates, please. Can we get our collection?
I don't know if air horns are in the chapel per se.
Okay, hold on. I'm like, hold on. Why I'm not? Oh, say something now.
I don't know if air horns are in the chapel per se. But,
Well, air horns is in the chapel of the Church of Joy Road.
the Church of Joy Road. But it's
In
like
the church.
KDZ is the deacon.
Joy Road.
KDZ might be the deacon because I'm from Joy Road. And we are live on the Retired Hood Rat Podcast, heard live on Detroit is Different. So make sure that
And
you
I'm
tune
live
in.
on IG right now on Dany_Redwine.
If you want to see Dany Redwine, she is live on IG, Dany_Redwine. I'm live on TikTok, comedian T.Barb, which I'm getting ready to get off TikTok. So if you want to see the rest of the show, come over to YouTube. But before I get off of here, there are so many things to talk about. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So many things to talk about. Also, we got your boy Khary Frazier in the building, who will be talking about an initiative that we have going on with a live studio. Detroit is different. But Khary, we can't just let you go that easy. You already know that. Because this week in Detroit, only in Detroit. So Saturday, May 28th, there was a show at the Fox Theater. If you're not familiar with Detroit, the Fox Theater is the highest of the high. The theater to be at. MoNique, the famous, hilarious comedian MoNique, you know her just from being MoNique. She is famous. The Parkers, queens of comedy. She is definitely a queen.
Precious.
But she came to Detroit and kind of acted up a little bit. So what happened was there was a show with her and DL Hewley. You know, DL, Kings of Comedy, Radio. They've all had their own shows. And MoNique comes on stage for 12 minutes, hosted by Josh Adams, slept on, straight out of Detroit, one of the funniest brothers in the country. Give it up for Josh.
And I heard a lot about Josh. They said Josh killed it.
Josh kills it every time.
Man, I'm so proud of him.
Josh is hilarious.
Josh is hilarious.
Straight up. Always
is
been hilarious.
Every time.
Every time. So Josh hosts the show, and MoNique comes out and for 12 minutes goes on a rant where she says that she was the headliner. If you want to go over to my TikTok, comedian T.Barb, or my Instagram, I am T.Barb. I posted a little clip, about 12 minutes of going there. Khary was actually at the show. So like I said, MoNique said she was the headliner. She shouldn't have been last. She said DL stands for down low. She said a lot of salacious things. Khary, you were there. Tell us what happened.
How was the energy?
I mean,
first tell us what happened.
We've all witnessed MoNique over the past, 6-7 years. It was like an extension of everything you would think of MoNique. It's the world against her. So to me, it was it was in vogue with that. I was sitting next to one of the promoters. So the promoter, she even when she said, that the promoter wasn't shit and doing business wrong, she was looking at one of the promoters. So it's
Really? So you hold on. So you were sitting next to the promoter.
Well, it was his lady and then one of the promoters right there. So she was looking right at us
while she's talking about.
So what is okay? This is inside scoop. Retired Hood Rat Podcast.
MoNique is a thug.
MoNique is a thug. But listen,
is gangster.
So what does the promoter do as MoNique is staring at him?
He was I don't know what the fuck she talking about. So, this is, you know what I mean? I don't know. I assume it's probably gonna be like about a year and a half from now where she'll be saying 50 Cent is down low and fucked up and don't know nobody. I mean, it seems like the only man she gets along with is her husband. But you know, more power to whatever. What
that
more
was
power?
kind of a
That's
that
a
was
hit.
that was a hit. That was a
Okay,
hit.
am I publicly, what man has she exalted in the same vein other than her husband? I know she does business with her husband.
So when she came out on stage, did she just walk right out on stage and just started going in instantly?
I mean, she hyped up the crowd. I mean, she a legend. She know what she doing. So,
yeah,
you know, it's like a real bitch back in Detroit, a real bitch back in Detroit. And I wasn't about to come on stage, but these I mean, y'all seen the tape. These whole ass fucking bitch ass niggas got me fucked up. They got me fucked up. And a bitch was fucked up. But I love you, Detroit. But a bitch was fucked up. And so it's
and
like,
it just
okay.
escalated from there.
I guess. I mean, it's like this. I was like, you know, as we follow on T.Barb's only in Detroit. I mean, this is like Family Dollar conversations. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's like, okay. I mean, shit. You know. So about 12 minutes between the promoter, Oprah, a lot on DL, feeling sad for DL's wife. That he's such a coward,
man.
You know.
And what's the DL stand for?
Yeah, I mean, the download. I mean, but in reality, I don't know what's real, what's not real, and how things lay. I do know it seems like they were co-headliners, whatever the fuck that means. I mean, it really don't make no difference. I think if you're just, in my opinion, it may be one of those things where she don't really want to work with these promoters no more. It may be one of those things. This may be promotion for the BMF series or something else that she's doing. It keeps her name in the news. It seems like shit, you know, people like drama. People like drama. People like this type of shit. People would not have been talking about either one of them if stuff like this didn't happen. Maybe they backstage saying, all right, this is what you're going to do. Call me a bitch ass nigga when you start your set. I don't know what's real and what ain't real these days when it comes to this media stuff, but I do know we respond to stuff like this a whole lot more. The crowd was with her. She killed. It was a lot of women in the audience and women. She, you know, she's a great storyteller. She knows
MoNique
how to
is
command the
She's
stage.
great. MoNique is great.
You know, she delivered. You know what I'm saying? So even in the show, you know, talking about DL, talking about the promoter, talking about Steve Harvey, talking about Oprah, talking about Lee Daniels, talking about you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, if you've worked with her, probably, you know what I'm saying, post Parker's, you probably gonna, you know what I'm saying, get Netflix. You're not gonna get, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna hear something about it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, I mean, I would only assume, and that's why it's like not a shot at her. I guess y'all see it as a shot, but it seems like her husband is the one that's talking about Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, and she probably got reasons for saying this. The story she told about DL, if true, which I mean, I can only take as true. Yeah, that shit was crazy. She told the story that like she came on DL's radio show one time, and his co-host, and she was like, "This is how I knew he was a bitch ass nigga. I thought we was, you know, like in this fraternity of comedians together." The co-host asked, and I know it was for this bitch ass nigga, according to her, would you rather have your husband take it from Lee Daniels in the back, or have sex with Corinne Steffens with a condom on? You know, so yeah, that's, you know, if you know what I mean, if I'm believing all that to be true, and it was on his show, but as I know how these shows go, you know, we don't know what the hell some of these comedians, you know what I'm saying, or guests come on shows just saying wild shit, like I say, to end up on Media Takeout and then give your take on it, and then you come out and say, oh, I was exhausted and I was going through depression and I ain't expect her as somebody I look up to come at me like that. Like, who the fuck know? I don't know what's real and what ain't real. It's like, are we in a matrix? Especially when it comes to y'all.
How was the energy in the room? How's the energy? Was everybody hyped? Was there some cringing? Was there?
I mean, nah. I mean, Detroiters like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, well, I think especially packaged. Now, y'all gonna feel different. Packaged from a woman, I think that type of energy, it comes off differently. If a man were to, like, if DL were to have opened for her and came at her, I think that would have like pulled the crowd. Like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But you know, and God knows, I'm sure that you know, it didn't. And then especially the way DL's comedy is, like, it kind of, you know, it's a different type of crowd. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's more political. I think he just kind of sort of addressed it and then just kept it kind of moving. He went right into his jokes. You know, that's why I was even surprised that he even put something up on his Instagram about it, because I thought he was just going to completely sidestep this whole thing. Because, like I say, this gets a conversation going, especially for people in Detroit.
He kind of did sidestep it, though.
Well,
because
on
stage, I guess he said a few jokes about it, moved on, like you said. But even in social media, he just said, "Look, y'all can get the ticket. You see who the headliner is on the ticket. Like, this is, I don't understand what the confusion is."
But I think by addressing it anyway, it kind of gives credence to, like, now you got a back and forth. In that back and forth arena, I assume she's stronger in that sense. Period. He's not stupid. So I'm sure he'll come up with something clever, but I think she's gonna outsmart him in that world and be more clever. Like in this whole what it is, he's just gonna say the industry don't like you. I mean, the thing is, she has a predominantly Black audience. The industry is a part of a machine that's outside of audiences like where Black people are. So it's like, I feel like, you know, the audience that MoNique is talking to probably feel like how she feels every day at their job.
I mean, and I get that. I get that. But I guess I feel like, well, shit, maybe in Dany's world. But I feel like even if she took the approach that DL did, when she just came out on stage, did maybe a couple of minutes of rant and then got into her jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, broke it down real quick and made her point and then kept it moving. I just feel like MoNique wasted way too much time to be a little bit messy. You know what I mean? Like, you still, at the end of the day, we still want to see MoNique. Like, MoNique is funny. She's talented. So we want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I guess I just feel like
I would say as a comedian, okay, both of y'all. Like, so like as a comedian, would you rather, I mean, right now crowds are caught up on this spectacle shit. Just like I'm sure Dave Chappelle gave a great set when old boy tackled him.
Right.
But at the end of the day, do people rather walk away having an Instagrammable moment like I was there when MoNique cussed out DL Hughley, or do they just appreciate the art for the art? Would they rather, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about crowds, are crowds right now at the point where they would rather have, and I know it is a loaded, but in my mind, like, you know, the way this comedy shit's going, if DC Young Fly gets into a fight with Chico Bean, I think people will rather watch that than just watch a comedy show, because it's like, oh, it's Instagrammable and I get to talk about it, and then it's like I can be walking out and say, hey, guess what, these, you know,
right. So you saying now in today's world the moment is better, is more important than the craft?
I mean, I'm asking you, like, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's kind of two-sided. I don't know. Can it be like, what's the word for that?
Both.
Yeah, double entendre.
Yes, that's what it is. It's kind of a little bit of both. You know what I mean? Like, we still want to be creative as comedians. Like, you see people do stuff, like people can do a video, a TikTok and go viral. You know what I'm saying? It's been done over and over. But they still are people that get up on stage and perform in front of audiences and still can keep a crowd and still, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can transition. There's some people that don't. Some people capitalize off of the social media. That's all they do. And they can't transition that on stage, but you know. So
I guess my question is less about you as the comedian and more putting on a hat as like the promoter or whoever, or like, just what do you think the audience, the offering of the audience? Like, if some wild shit happens, does the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Like, have we been, like, I think right now we may be more conditioned to want to see some wild shit than just want to see a good show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, for the people that saw Dave Chappelle on Friday and nobody tackled him, do they feel like, damn, I wish I was at the show where he got tackled?
No, I get what you're saying, but I do think people genuinely come out to enjoy a good comedy show.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, I do. And there are a lot of good shows. Like me and Barb just did a show in Battle Creek, and it was an all women's lineup. We tore that room down, and they want us to come back. Like they enjoyed the show. They were there for comedy. We gave them a show. They enjoyed the show. Now, if some drama happened, then yeah, probably maybe something might have went viral. You know what I mean? But people came out to enjoy a show. So I think people, that's their initial. You know, people need to laugh.
Like,
you know, it's so much shit going on now. Comedy really is taking a hit, but at the same time, it don't stop people from coming out to shows. People still want to laugh.
I agree, but it's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where. And I mean, it's just not comedy. It's, I mean, a sad, like other acts in our country, like that clout chasing is big now. Like when Darius Bennett was in the show,
because they'll talk about this more than they'll talk about the school shootings and stuff that's going on that they don't report all the time.
Or anything. Like, even to me, the reason to want to be a school mass shooter is more on attention and clout. Like, and it's like, now I can be tied to some wild shit. The dude that pulled the pistol on Mike Tyson at the comedy show where Darius Bennett was on stage. That ties Darius Bennett now to an audience of people that's like, oh, who it was a comedian on stage while a guy pulled a gun on Mike Tyson. Darius is funny, but he's gathered more attention from that act,
right,
than just his act.
Right.
You know, Josh is probably going to get more attention now because of this than just his act.
Right. But that's kind of how I feel with the MoNique thing. I feel like the 12 minutes of the rant like outshines her talent. You know what I mean? It outweighs her talent. It takes away from it.
I think okay, it's a couple things.
And that's just from my comedic standpoint.
I mean, because it's two ways to look at this incident with MoNique, okay? Because I'm looking at it as a comedian, then you can look at it as someone in the audience. And then as a promoter and a producer, I can look at it from that standpoint. So of course, I think that your experience in life and what you've been used to or whatever you've been doing is going to contribute to how you see this incident. Right. You know, and so some people are, like Khary said, looking at it as a black woman. But what I will say, because when we talked about it yesterday, one of the comedians gave me a viewpoint I wasn't thinking of. The viewpoint that they gave me on the MoNique thing was, our job is to entertain. And that in some respects, entertainment can be you cracking a joke and the joke being funny. In some respects, entertainment can be, it was an argument. Look at reality TV. Nothing is real about reality TV. We don't give a fuck that if it's real or not. What we give a fuck about is it entertaining?
Is they gonna argue? Is they gonna fight?
Is they gonna argue?
Right.
I think we're so desensitized right now because we have access to so much. Think about when the internet first came out. When you saw wild shit, you was like blew away. Now wild shit is
nothing.
Dime a dozen.
It's
you
nothing.
can see somebody fighting. Dime a dozen.
It's nothing.
You look at Only in Detroit. Only in Detroit, people love that. And I think even when I post something, like some people will be like, post something positive. When I post something positive,
people don't watch.
Guess what the people? No, they watch it, but guess what they go in there and say, especially the white people. Detroit is a shithole. Show the real Detroit. You know, we don't want to see the landscape. Somebody's getting robbed down the street. If you go look at the comments, it's unbelievable.
Comments are hilarious.
But okay. I haven't looked at the comments. I just look at it. But I would imagine people watch. And you just said what I'm saying. Like, so, and she's talented enough, like, and she's been doing it long enough where she's packaged it where, you know, I guess as comedians, you get to another level in game where you can speak and it's still entertaining. She knows how to tell a story with, like, she molded and blended the story as much as it was unexpected, where it still like captured our attention. And like what you said, like, did it capture our attention and it gave us an experience because that's what we're selling. And now I know that for now and evermore, I'm able to even be on here and speak about it because I was in this experience, which, like I say, I don't know.
You were in the audience. And so I would have been amazed to be in the audience and sitting next to the promoter.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level of being in the audience at that show with MoNique and the Fox. And then to see how DL bounced back, because I do agree with you, Khary. I can't lie. If it would have been a man who came out and bashed a woman first, it would have been a whole
nother thing.
Yeah.
It would have went
it
out.
would have.
Other
It's
layers.
almost like
Definitely.
this, and I know this is gonna be a controversial statement, but I don't care. It's almost like when you see a girl that's really big wear a very scantily clad outfit, and everybody says body positivity. But if somebody who just strapped up wear the same outfit, they're going to say she's dressed like, oh, she's promiscuous. She's dressed like a slut. It's no longer just body positivity because of the body type.
Yeah.
Then you even look at this. I'm going to take it a step further. And oh God, please don't ban before my career gets started. When I think about something like a Pride weekend, right? And so I love Pride. I go to the weekends every time. Sometimes I see guys
like pressing the mute button on her right now.
I'm just saying, with just tassels on their genitals alone, that's not the message.
Right.
But there are some people, instead of saying he got his dick out, they gonna say he's showing pride in his sexuality, which I don't agree with that. I think you just want to be freaky. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to say when some people just want to be freaky and some people are exerting pride. I'm sorry. Ass out, tassels out, thongs in public, all of that. And not on the beach. I'm talking about just walking up and down Jefferson and Woodward. That's freaky. That's freaky. I don't give a damn. It's freaky. So let's just say I'm a freak, and let's not say pride in this or that. So that's my only thing. That's my only thing. And I'm just being honest with that, because we blur the line as a society so much. There is a difference between having pride and who you are as a person, and I just want to be nasty. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference.
But I also think, like, okay, so like, you know, back in the 80s, Lamar on Revenge of the Nerds was that was like, okay, that was over the top for 80, 85 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's back to like attention. You're gonna keep pushing the envelope, and some people are more skilled at it, like what you said with reality TV. I think MoNique is more skilled at what she's building, and all of this, I'm sure, will lead to a special. So as much as she may not work with this promoter again, possibly, other promoters are looking like, this captured attention. This is what people want to see. Yeah. This is something that people are talking about.
Detroit was entertained. It's gonna be talked about forever.
Yeah. So if that happens, then I think from the promoter's standpoint, like, even when people come to me and offer, like, you should get this person, you should get that person, some of the you should get this person, that person's, it's like, okay, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's just like, if you think about this, even in getting booked or doing shows, sometimes when you come out to not just even these comedy shows, but shows, period, the person has been booked on popularity and not talent.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
The popularity is,
absolutely.
we like to see them act the fool. That's just like now with comedy. All comedy is not punchline joke. I wrote this down. Some comedy now is a person could come out on the stage. I really believe this, and to the right crowd, piss on the ground and be drunk and roll around, and people are going to laugh. They're not laughing because of the jokes. They're laughing because this person making a fool of themselves, and we like to laugh at that now.
Right.
So
there's hundreds of thousands. There's hundreds of styles of comedy.
That sounds like an OnlyFans.
you can just list, just put list types of comedy in Google, and there's going to give you a shitload of.
It's like
different types of comedy.
Like, yeah, smack that. Like,
yeah, it's
smack it like this.
But I think, like with the MoNique thing, I just think that it's so many levels. I think you're gonna look at it however you want to look at it based on who you are. As a promoter, somebody's gonna say, I would never do that. And some people are gonna say, as a performer, I would just do my job and address whatever issues later behind the scenes. Some people say, hey, you can do it, just not for 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like,
okay, now I gotta be the guy that speaks.
Okay, go ahead.
You all are women performers, so, and I've seen it. So, like, meaning, I don't know, dirtbag, wild boy, whatever angle, creepy behavior, like, women get messed with differently in this industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do think that some of the way MoNique does business with her husband probably has changed the way the industry even looks at engaging and interacting with her. So I think that probably plays a role, meaning, like, damn, now it's a guy that's really representative of her in this position. So sometimes it may hit a breaking point where you got to get on stage and, you know, let off some shit where a man wouldn't have to go through that, because y'all is seeing some shit where it's like, this is too far line stepping, where I'm sick of this shit and I done hit a wall and I'm going there. Like, in my mind, I could see a woman coming from that space just because it is different.
Dany? Because I think once again, I think the reaction, what I'm learning is that I'm trying to learn not to be a judgmental person. And hold on, I gotta say this comment. So John's like say, I want to walk the earth how God made me, dick swinging like a potato on a rope. Happy Pride.
Well, he needs to get to the Amazon.
That is hilarious.
Tell him to go to the Amazon.
Swing it.
It's a lot of tribes where that shit is. It's a lot of tribes where that shit is socially acceptable.
Right. Okay, so I just had to say, because that was hilarious. Not dick swinging like a potato.
Swing it, sugar.
My point is, I try not to be judgmental, because depending on what you've been through in life or the position you play in life will depend on how you feel about MoNique. Like Khary said, if you're a woman and you tired and men have been doing this, and that, you're going to feel like, right on, sister. If you're a professional, because we all handle things differently.
Absolutely.
I'm tactful, but if you're talking about a strategic boss move to keep your name popping, that was the fucking move. If you wanted to be on TMZ, if you needed to be on the news, if you wanted to wake up and go viral on Shade Room, what MoNique did at the Fox was the way to play it.
Right, but that's always the part she's playing, is what I'm saying. Like, it's always, you know what I mean? It's always some beef. Like,
Dany sound like what I said when I came in.
It's just always something.
But if it always is,
do you want to carry that energy all the time? Is that what you want your legacy to be? Is that what you want to be known as? Oh shit, I'm afraid to say this because she's gonna get everybody on her side, and all the black women are gonna be mad at us now because MoNique said something.
What's her name? Doug Christie wife on the Basketball Wives show, and Needy, like that brand, kind of due to reality TV. Tony Braxton's sister, like that brand, which kind of plays into an archetype of angry black woman that's like sassy and stuff. So it's marketable and it's angleable. Like,
right. I get it.
It's money.
I get the sass. Mo is my sister in the Zodiac. She's this crazy ass sag. You know what I'm saying? So I get her and her fire. I just feel like sometimes you have to direct it.
I think so.
You have to direct it.
I'm gonna say ways. This. Okay, that's before we move on, because I definitely
be a little more tactful.
We have Khary Frazier from Only in Detroit in the building, so we definitely want to talk about a lot of studio, that movement, and I want to tap on Uvalde. What happened? We got your girl Dany Redwine in the building, and then we also, like I said, have Khary Frazier from Detroit is different in the building. But I want to say this because Khary definitely said something that I want to press on, because you said it continues the angry black woman narrative. I'm going to agree with that. And to me, if you didn't know that situation was biased, because I watched this show called Selling Sunset, right? It's a girl on there that stars nothing but shit. As a matter of fact, all of them.
Ocho Cinco
no, that's Selling Tampa.
Oh shit!
Selling Sunset is the original one with all the white girls who sell the real estate in California, Beverly Hills. I had Dany watching it.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
They argue all the time.
They are very messy.
They get into it all the time. You have one that lie and tell this one this and this one that, but they'll never get the rep as the angry white woman. They at mansions having arguments in front of millionaires and billionaires and do not give a fuck. This is what they want to argue about at this time. So what I'm saying is that narrative is just something that's going to stick with us because it's a way to shut us up and to keep us quiet.
Right.
Even though there is always a time and a place to do things.
And
But
that's my only thing. That's my only thing. That, you know, she was at the Fox. If you want to cut up for like 4 minutes strong.
okay,
You know
so
what I'm saying? And then get into your jokes. Like,
IG Live, we have a comment that says, MoNique is the truth. I like that she's able to stand up for herself and speak her mind. I applaud her.
I do too.
That's from my boy Max. I mean,
I just want her to be more tactful with
You
it.
want her to
You
be
know
more
what I'm saying? That's
tactful.
it. I love MoNique. I just want her to move a little bit different because I'm sick of everybody saying that. You know what I'm saying? That MoNique is hard to work with and she's, you know, the angry black woman. I'm tired of seeing it because MoNique is fucking funny. Before she's anything else, she's funny.
I think
You know what I'm
that
saying?
once again, they're going to say what they want to say about her. Like I said, I have my own opinions from as a producer or as a comedian. What I will say is that strategically, beef is the move. That doesn't have
Unfortunately,
to be, that does not
you
have to
know.
be your legacy, but beef is the move.
Mhm.
That's one thing. So let's just
Yeah.
go there. Beef is the move. And two, regardless to whether you agree with MoNique or not, she got her name popping right now. Now, will it end up haunting her? Will it be a Will Smith popping? Because we talked about Will for a long time and now he been banned. I think he's gonna come back way greater later because that's usually what happens. But right now it was a so it could go either way. Let's see. MoNique, D.L. Hewley, Detroit. Only in Detroit does that kind of stuff happen on the stage. And shout out to my comedy sister, Crystal P. Comedy. She said I look gorgeous. Thank you, boo. Boom. Moving on. We are on the Retired Hood Rat Podcast live on Detroit is Different. Make sure you go check us out every Thursday. Live episodes. We tape on Monday, but Thursday you can hear us on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comedian T.Barb. I'm trying to get to 500. I'm almost there. So go over there, go subscribe. Retired Hood Rat Podcast.
Yeah, and I gotta get some so I can go live on TikTok. Y'all gotta
go
Dany follow me. I need some followers. I'll get better with my TikToks. I promise.
Because she ain't been doing shit on TikTok. Okay,
I just have to learn all the the little tricks.
Dance moves.
I need like a tutorial. I need a tutor. I need a TikTok tutor.
Go auntie, TikTok tutor. Auntie in the building. Okay, so moving forward, we got your boy, like I said, Khary, Frazier in the building. Only in Detroit is one of my monikers on social media. But if you don't know, I tape my podcast, Retired Hood Rat Podcast, on Detroit is Different. So Detroit is Different has been getting down. Khary Frazier is the founder of Detroit is Different and also an initiative called A Lot of Studio, which I am a brand ambassador for. I'll be hosting an event there June 23rd. So let's give it up for Khary and hear what he has going on, everybody. Air horns.
Thank you.
And applause.
Thank you. So I'm glad to be here. Glad you're on the network and glad to be doing a lot of studio again. It is a podcast performance experience right outside in the neighborhood. Over here, you're gonna be in the campgrounds of what Detroit is Different is, right in the hood. 1634 Clemens Street. We're kicking off June 16th, Thursday, June 16th, 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna solidify where I got a big announcement on the performer coming probably tomorrow. But the first one, we're talking about funding the Black community, just different discussions we have on Detroit is Different, but just in an open setting. I wanted to continue the legacy of what happened with the Detroit is Different podcast festival in 2019, but COVID kind of shifted what would happen with that. So when COVID shifted what would happen, in 2020, we were thinking, how do we do this again? We got to do something outside. And I started my garden boxes in my garden. I was like, let's do it out here. Let's do it on property I own instead of thinking about renting a space and carrying things. It's the hood. It definitely is what people label as blight and all of that stuff. I got real hood neighbors. You know what I'm saying? So like
we saw when we pulled up.
But it's fun. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. And you'll find that like it's a cool vibe because I'm off the service drive of the Lodge Freeway. You're here, but you sometimes it'll be scary how quiet it is and how chill it is. Like you'll be like, damn.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this as well. As far as of course, we have listeners from all across the country, all across the world. But one thing about Detroit that kills me, and June 23rd, I'll be hosting one of the A Lot of Studio events, and we'll be talking real estate. and how to make that happen, right? When we talking about real estate and what's going on in the city. And what happens in Detroit is that we have areas with some light, with some dirt, with some whatever you want to call it, and we don't want to move over there, but we get upset when other cultures say, you know what, I'm gonna come clean it up for this price, because I bet a lot of people didn't know, and I just read an article on this. The average price of rent in this city will be $2,000 by this
I
summer.
saw that
That's
article.
what. Yeah, I was looking at
$2,000 in Detroit. The average, not for something nice, average. That means that if you have a 1-2 bedroom, they're talking $2,000, 3-bedroom, $2,000 a month. When you could have bought a piece of property, and if we all buy property on the same block and clean it up. Now, don't get me wrong. That's like where I live. I was real. Why? I just saw the potential and investment. So we have to stop pulling up places and saying, ugh, and then get mad when a year or two later, because even on this block, a lot of studios on Clements, I see the houses they're knocking down now, and it made a huge difference. Just one,
just seeing
so
them
I can
knocked
imagine
down
when they come back
when
and
they
come
rebuild.
back. It's gonna be over.
And I mean, it's one of those things where this is another gender difference too. And
Y'all can
then
still buy a
and
house in
mom.
Detroit for $1.
No,
that
don't think
program
so.
is over.
I got a
Sorta,
couple
but like
dollars.
that program. Okay, because everybody knows it's like a
Yeah, it's a lot
worldwide
of
known program.
it was
So
a big
like
program.
when you buy when you buy a home for that, and this is where T.Barb is going to really unpack, and you're going to get this information for show if you show up. Like seriously, if you're
June
thinking
23rd.
about a house, June 23rd, come, because I'm going to have attorney Anthony Adams is going to come. He's a real estate attorney, former deputy mayor. He just ran for mayor, should have won. I supported him, but he's going to talk. T.Barb is like a real person that has really done what people talk, that whole taking your money and buying a house. Like, she's done it. So she's gone through the arc. So this is the thing. When you buy the dollar property, you're held to these obligations of bringing that house up to code within a certain
amount of
time
time
frame.
Okay.
And that even can become a difficulty. Finding the right contractors that can work on this stock.
Right.
The stock of houses here, they're so old.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're going to be able to get home equity loan improvements. You're not going to, even if you go to your credit union you've been with for 7 years, they'll be like, look, we may give you 5 bands on that. 5 bands.
Right.
And, so you're going to need a lot of cash. You're going to need to
I think that's some credits.
Definitely some credit. You're going to need to figure out ways to secure it while working on a property. Because like if you, I mean, I'm gonna just be honest. If you throw a hot water tank, a furnace, new duct work, windows and stuff like that, probably them people that you had fix your house may turn around and that stuff gonna catch legs.
But that's what's cool about a lot of studio, I think, in the information, because one thing I will say, and that's why you got to come out, like say June 23rd, it kicks off June 16th, and every week will be a different topic, because we even have a farming topic. But even on June 23rd, one thing about the city people don't understand is there are long-term and short-term investments, and real estate investments aren't the same investments that your grandparents made. Don't get me wrong, you want to own a parcel of land just because you see how they're taking the cost of living up. So this is where we separating the owners, people who have equity and property and assets, from people who don't. But from a financial everyday standpoint, you don't have to own the property anymore to make money, because now we have the Uber model, the Airbnb models. Uber does not own a car, but they make money off the software. So there's different levels to home ownership. But anyway, it's more about coming to just a lot of studio, period.
It is, but you're going to get a lot of game like this, because like people, and everything will have like a black theme kind of going throughout. But, black home ownership is what she talked about is key. So each week we're gonna, it's gonna be fun. And my favorite types of events are what, like, I'm creating spaces that I like. I love this podcasting, hence Detroit is Different, the studio. And we even have a Studio B. But the spaces that I like most are spaces where you can kind of tap into what's going on, but then you can kind of pull off to the side and then have a conversation with your people, your lady, your man, your kids or whatever. Like, it's not the type of what I call, it's not a experience authoring where it's going to take and consume all of your attention. It's the type of experience where you can kind of vibe out, be present, and chill and enjoy what's happening. T.Barb came out last year and she stayed like, and I know this is how I know I'm creating something good, because T.Barb got a million and one things to do. She planned on staying for like maybe 5 minutes. She stayed way longer. So that tells me this is a good experience. It's one of those things where it's like, this is a cool kickback.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. I don't like experiences, though I know they play a role where you feel like, I gotta be paying attention. Like, you know, when you go to church and pastor look like he looking at you, where it's like, damn, I can't even get up and go to the bathroom. And if I get a peppermint,
because I feel like you're talking to me.
Exactly.
Right now.
It's like these sinners in here focusing on peppermints and not Jesus. It's like, oh.
So, Khary, if they want to come out to a lot of studio and support the movement, how can they do that? How can they support a lot of studio come out? June 16th is the kickoff, but how can they, is it just everybody can show up, and how can they support Detroit is different than a lot of studios?
Okay, so tall task. Last year we raised $7,500. This year I'm multiplying that big time. Like, when doing budgets is key in business. So $25,000 is the ask this time. I got some other keys in the mix. Right now I'm at like $2,300-$2,400, which I know most people will be like, what the hell is going on? But it's getting there. I got some other cars. I got some, some plays to make, but big ass for bigger stages, more landscaping, new equipment, just the whole nine. Like, I'm scaling up the same way I scale up this studio probably like every 2 to 3 months. It's like new stuff. It's going to always be something new. So you can give by giving to the GoFundMe. You can search a lot of studio. If you go to GoFundMe and search a lot of studio, or if you just want to give to the Cash App, it's Detroit 501c3, Detroit 501c3. So that is the $, as you know, on cash tag. So $ Detroit 501c3.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And make sure y'all go contribute. And Dany, Miss Dany Redwine.
Yes,
Dany
ma'am.
Redwine. Miss Dany Redwine. Because we're going to kick off our last topic before we get out of here. Don't forget to subscribe to the Retired Hoodrat podcast on Detroit is Different. Every Thursday, new episodes on all platforms. That's Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. Also, subscribe to my YouTube, Comedian T.Barb. That's how you see all the episodes live as we tape it. And don't forget, we talked about MoNique. Each and every week, I have different guests. That's Comedian T.Barb. Go support me. Go out. Go watch my podcast. Go listen to the podcast on Spotify, all those things. But listen, before we get out of here, this week, we also had another tragic incident happen in the United States. We've been talking about it so much, about mass shootings. They actually had the NRA convention in Houston over the weekend. And in Uvalde, Texas, which is a bordering community off of Mexico, we had 19 children massacred and 2 adults massacred. 90-minute mass shooting by an 18-year-old gunman. And I know this has been sad, but we just got to tap on it. Dany Redwine, as a mother, as a person, a human being, what are some of the things we can do as a country to really stop? Where do you see us going? What is this about?
I just think mental illness is at an all-time high right now. I think the pandemic has affected a lot of young adults socially. And I say that because we send our kids to school not only to learn, but also to be how to be a functioning adult in society and work and live amongst others and their differences. And I think that your high school years are your most impressionable years. Like you start forming those relationships, you start kind of figuring out who you are and what you want to be. And that's stripped from you to be at home, to do classroom time on your own. The time in the classroom is shortened because it's virtual now. Everything is inside. We're getting our groceries dropped off on our doorsteps. You can get fast food delivered to your house. I think keeping these kids isolated has really affected them mentally because all they've had is social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For 2 years straight. It's just basically all you've had is social media, basically. I think it's had an effect on our youth. I think that there's a lot of young people that are fucked up in the head. flat
Yeah.
out. Not only do they probably come from maybe messed up backgrounds or home environments, they got this place they can escape to, social media, where they are just immersed in bullshit
All day.
all
every
day, all day, every day. It's available to them 24/7. Anything is available to them 24/7. If they want to see, let me just see some videos of people getting shot in the head. Okay, we about to give you a compilation of people getting shot in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sick. It's sick. You know, I just think that we don't care about, you know, what's going on with the mental health as much as we should, because it's a lot of people out here jacked up.
Mm. I can agree on that, and I just feel like it's just sad.
It is
It's
very
just
sad.
sad.
It's
I
very
don't know if
sad.
there's really anything that can be said or done.
No, as a
to-
mother, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine dropping your kid off at school and then hearing people say that there's a shooter in my
And
child's school.
even when you have to have that talk with your kids, it's so deep. When I'm dropping my son off and I'm having this talk with him, just because it's a possibility, something that you never thought, could happen as a possibility. But any words on that, Khary, before we get out of here?
Just quick, like I had my aunt that passed away, Aunt Shirley, rest in peace. But she was RN and she started like early 80s. And one time, I'm not gonna say, but one of the celebrities passed away, and I was like, man, that's weird. And she was like, well, information travels differently nowadays, because I don't think nothing's new under the sun. I'm one of those people. But I think that before, without social media, kind of what Dany said, and just the way information just travels so fast, like you could bottle up a story and package it differently depending upon how you wanted to package the story. So not saying like a mass shooting or like just any of this crazy psychotic stuff nowadays, it's just going to get out there because somebody's going to expose what happened. Like even the MoNique situation, if this was 25 years ago, it would just be hearsay and D.L. Hughley would just brush it off. MoNique may brush it off too. You know what I'm saying? But now, because we have these devices where almost like anybody and everybody can become a journalist to whatever happens, it changes the way all this information is even hitting you, impacting you, how fast it moves, how much you can be like in a conversation in people's minds. So I think it interconnects where like a lot of some of the most gruesome things that my aunt said used to happen that she see in the emergency room as an RN, you would never get the real story of like a father killing, all the kids in the house and all of that stuff, because it was like, what we gonna say happened is
yada
damn,
yada.
it was carbon monoxide poisoning in this house, or we gonna, because it's basically like the nurse, the EMT, the detective, and it's like, we're not even gonna put this out there like that. We're gonna package it in a different way where it doesn't come in people's minds and hearts that
or we're not even gonna report it. And I think that that's the difference with social media. When I watched the Abercrombie and Finch documentary, one thing they said, this racism stuff's been going on, but you didn't have social media to broadcast it at the level that you do now. You could tell your friends, but it didn't go out to the whole world. So everybody didn't know that these things were happening. Like they say, a lot of things in the world have already been happening. Not, people just AR-15s, because the guns are different now, those things. But anyway, I just want to thank everybody. So Dany Redwine, how can people get in touch with you, follow you, keep up with you?
You can follow me on TikTok. So I need some followers on TikTok. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so I can at least go live every now and then, twerk a little something on there. You know what I'm saying? At least one. And then on IG, which I really need some followers on IG too. I'd appreciate that as well. Dany, and that's DANY, just one N, DANY _Redwine, REDWINE, just the way it sounds. That's my real name. It's not a retired stripper on the Retired Hoodrat show. And on Facebook, Dany Redwine. So
everybody give it up for Dany Redwine in the building.
Thanks for having me. It's been
and
great.
Khary, how can people catch up with you and get in touch with you again?
Go to Detroit is Different on Instagram, or just me, Khary Frazier, KharyFrazier. But Detroit is Different. Go to Detroit is Different. You should be already on Detroit is Different. T.Barb definitely waves the flag for Detroit is Different, big time. We're not a gang for if anybody's watching. It's just an organization.
We're a gang. We're a gang, but not a gang. Don't forget, it's comedian T.Barb. So go follow me on all social media platforms. TikTok, comedian T.B.A.R.B. That's comedian T.Barb. It's I am T.Barb on Instagram, or Retired Hoodrat Mornings is the radio page. Retired Hoodrat Mornings. It's comedian T.Barb on everything. So go check me out. Don't forget, I'm all over everywhere. July 17th. Make sure that you tune in for a special release. I'll let you know about that coming up, as well as all of my upcoming shows. June 10th, we're at the MRCC. So pull up. June 25th, I'm at the Colony Hall, DC. I'll see you guys the weekend. I think of June 17th, 16th, 17th. I'll be there. And don't forget, I'll be out in LA in July. So catch me there. Catch me everywhere. Until next time, everybody, we're out. Retired Hoodrat Podcast. Make sure you tune in every Thursday for new episodes. And I'm bye. Bye-bye.